Hey guys, in this video I want to show you how to go about correcting basically your idle pose. So there's kind of two overall, I guess you could say, methods to this. It kind of depends on what you want and how you're going to do it. But for reference, here is the current idle pose. So you'll see the firearm's pointed up at an angle and it is pointing, this will be on the Z-axis. It's not pointing forwards basically. Whereas if we look here, not sure why it's shimmering. Maybe it's because I'm playing in here. Yep, that was why. You can see the firearm, for the most part, it's not perfectly level, but it's pretty level. And if we look at it, it's pointing much more straight out in front, kind of where they're looking. So why is there such a big difference between this and this? Now, this lies in the head, basically, like literally that. So here you can see the fixed head offset node. So if I bypass this, you can see that it comes back down, and this is how it's supposed to look. We have two bone IK, so we just need to adjust the elbow a little bit. But this is basically how it's supposed to look. It's pointed relatively flat, and it's pointed pretty much straight out where we're looking. The thing is, when we go to aim, you can see it's aiming way down here, compared to if we plug this in. Now it's messed up again for the idle pose, but when we aim, it comes right to the dead center of our screen. Now, what is the reason for this? The reason for it is the head correction. Now, for the procedural aiming to function like as intended, to where it locks to the dead center of your screen, you want your head to be as straight as possible. So that's what this fix head offset node does. So there's kind of two ways, and realistically, this is kind of the way you're going to go about it either way. So for example, if you make your animation and you have your head to where it is perfectly straight, you do not need this fixed head offset anim layer. But if you want to just get it relatively close, but it's not 100%, then you might want it. So for example here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pretty much straighten the head up. So we're going to make the head about as straight as we can get it. We go to the front, go to the right view, get it straight up, well, kind of straight that way. It's not the easiest to see with the lit mode. Go to the top. And we're going to straighten him out that way. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. So then we can just create asset, current pose. I want to name this one bad anim fixed. And then for the state machine, we're going to now use bad anim fixed. So now when we play, you can see the firearm. Granted, it's still pointed up a little bit, so we're going to have to make some adjustments there. I probably messed that up. But it's pointing relatively straight. It's much closer to what it's supposed to be. So if we look here, we can still see it's pointed relatively straight. So the issue is, if we look at the head bone, it's still pointed, down quite a ways. Not sure what exactly it's showing that it's linked to the hand. But anyways, we're going to go to the side view. So I think in that case, it's the front for whatever reason. And we're going to straighten this back out again. So I think one of my other rotations kind of made it to where it went off some. So let's triple check the top. That's pretty close. And then the front. So that would be the right. And just a tiny bit. All right. So now we should be pretty much good to go. It looks, for the most part, it's pretty straight. It's canted a tiny bit, but I don't think it's enough to matter. So we're again going to go to create asset off the current post. Name it bad anim fixed 2. And we're going to drag this guy in here. Now when we look at it, we can see the firearm is pointed as intended. It's pointed pretty much straight out. And same thing, it's pointed out in the front, just like that. So that takes care of that issue. And we go to aim, it's pretty much dead center. So if we bypass fixed head offset, which I'm a little bit curious about, this will kind of give us a rough idea on how far off we are. So here, if I go to aim, it's actually still very close to center. It's not 100%. I think it's off to the right, maybe just a smidge. It's kind of hard to tell. So I'm pointing at two soft line downs, hovering over the center line. So I plug this back in. Then I guess I got it pretty much dead center. Freaking nailed it. All right, so that resolves that. Now, one thing we want to look at is the 2-bone IK. So if you're familiar with animating in Blender and other stuff, you're generally going to refer to the term, or you're going to hear the word pole target. And in Unreal, it's called joint target. I'm assuming it's the same thing in things like Maya and all that. I'm not 100% sure. But basically, that'll be this guy out here. So if we watch the elbow, so specifically the slow down the camera. There we go. So we watch this elbow. As I move it back, you can see it manipulates it. So I'm going to leave it back in the bad spot. And here's where we want to go through and adjust. So here you can see the elbow for the right side is flared out quite a bit. So what we want to do, I wonder if I can adjust this on the fly. That'd be kind of nice. Dang, no I can't. Wait, unless I hit compile maybe? Yep, cool. All right, so if I hit compile, we can adjust it kind of as you see fit. So to me, that looks pretty good. And the left arm, in my opinion, is fine. So let's triple check. Let's see what it looks like when we aim. So we still have quite a chicken wing here on the right arm. So what we're going to do is, again, same thing. But we're going to drastically lower it. Actually, we probably want to go back even farther and out some, and probably down. So let's check this out. Oh yeah, figures what I'm doing, I ended up crashing it. Yeah, go figure. None of the, I guess I didn't do a save. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and revert back to the normal idle pose. So things are roughly correct, and I'll show you again with the elbow. So because regardless, as you can see, the elbow is still flared out quite a bit. So what we're going to want to do is, again, back in the set IK, we're going to go to the 2-bone IK. So again, this one is for the, basically think of this as the right arm. Think of this as the left arm. So they both have their own influence. So we already know we need to go back quite a bit. And I'm going to go in and down. So think of this as like a weight. So it's kind of where it's pulling the elbow. So it's kind of pulling the elbow to it. So if I aim now, we can see the right arm is tucked much more down. It's tucked basically into your lats. So we're going to swing out just a little bit and check it out. And in my opinion, that is much better. So, and as well, since we're going down beyond just horizontal, it's going to have a little bit more of a draw pointing downwards as well. So it's going to have some more influence. Now I just want to do the same kind of thing to the right arm, but for the right arm, or sorry, the left arm, I'm pretty much just going to go, it's already down and back a little bit. So I'm just going to go down a little farther. So it has a little more pull down. So here is unaimed, looks fine to me. Here's aimed, looks pretty much fine to me. I think I'm not going to get a whole lot of movement out of this without tucking it or moving the pole target far back. And that's probably just due for the, what's the word? Because the arm so much is extended out as far as it is. But that pretty much corrects, well, should show you how to correct the head. So that way you have your correct idle pose, as well as your pole targets, or joint targets in Unreal's case, to where it fixes your elbows. So you can really kind of set them up how you want. But anyways, that's going to be all for this video. Hopefully that helped you all out. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to hop in the Discord and I'll try to help you out.